My name is Lliam Hildebrand, and I am an oil sands worker. I am also a renewable energy worker. To some of you, that may sound like a contradiction, but I hope in the near future it's a common understanding that oil sands workers have both the skills and desire to build a renewable energy economy. I've been working as a boilermaker for over a decade, and throughout my career I've built a wide range of industrial technologies, specifically in energy, like pressure vessels for the oil sands, coal ship loaders for BC, and also renewable energy projects like this biomass station here. When I was 24, I became the lead hand on a wind farm weather station. And during that project, I became aware of global warming and the significance of the projects that I was building. It became clear to me then that tradespeople like myself would be critical in building the infrastructure required to address this global issue. So I quit my job in the pursuit of finding full-time employment in the renewable energy industry. However, things don't always go as planned when you're a 24-year-old idealist. And after months of searching, I found the only opportunities for me were actually in the oil sands. So that is where I went to work. And while working in steel structures like this one, I began discussing my dream of building renewable energy projects with my coworkers. And I was initially amazed and surprised that they felt the same way I did, or many of them did at least. Many of them wanted to use their skills to build a better future, but those jobs simply didn't exist, as I had recently found out. Then in the spring of 2015, oil prices, as we all know, went into free fall, and this highlighted the urgency for us to diversify our work scope. So we started to do some research, and we discovered that renewable energy investments were recently doubling that in oil and gas. We also discovered that these were large-scale, big steel infrastructure projects like wind and geothermal and biomass and biofuels. Similar technologies to what we knew we had the skills to manufacture and install. And we wanted in on the action. So we started organizing meetings in the lunchroom and started to develop strategies for acquiring some of this work. But as blue-collar workers, we felt we had little power to actually implement the ideas we were generating. So we founded an organization called Iron and Earth, Oil Sands Workers for Renewable Energy, with the mission to empower ourselves to build a renewable energy economy. As one of our first steps, we had the fortunate opportunity of working with the Energy Futures Lab to develop a strategy to leverage our nation's industrial expertise in building a new economy and helping Canada meet climate commitments. And this turned into the Workers' Climate Plan, which we submitted to the federal government as part of their National Climate Strategy consultation process. And it had 4 main points. First point is in rapid upskilling. The key word here is rapid. We aren't talking about 4-year apprenticeships. We're talking about rapid upskilling programs for existing tradespeople. And through our participation so far in the Energy Futures Lab, we have been able to develop partnerships with, to what some may seem as unlikely stakeholders and partners, Suncor and Enbridge, and also First Nations leader partnerships with Desmond Bull, who is speaking shortly after me. And this is partnerships on our Solar Skills campaign, through which we hope to deploy a 5-day hands-on solar training program, primarily for electricians, across Alberta. And we believe these opportunities should also exist for other trades and other technologies, like for crane operators, to lift the complex components involved in a wind turbine installation, or for the iron workers the millwrights, and the boilermakers like myself to be able to manufacture and install them more efficiently. I mean, I could probably go onto the job site and figure it out myself, but I'm going to be a lot faster if I have a bit of upskilling. Second point is building up our renewable energy manufacturing capacity through retooling programs. To paint a picture of that, here is an image of myself and my co-workers alongside some heat exchangers and pressure vessels we were building for the oil and gas industry. And here is an image of a wind tower being manufactured. Some similarities there. In terms of manufacturing, they use pretty similar manufacturing types and equipment. And as Canada starts scaling up these large-scale renewable energy projects, if we want to ensure we are maximizing job creation through this process, it's critical that we build a lot of the infrastructure here in Canada. And that is why, as a first step, we're partnering with METALBOSS technology on a grant proposal which would allow them to manufacture solar racking components competitively as Alberta ramps up its solar industry. Our third point is especially relevant for today, positioning existing energy stakeholders into the renewable energy sector through incubators and accelerators, like what the Energy Futures Lab has done, bringing these unlikely stakeholders together so that we can find common ground, take collective action, and develop innovative strategies together for how to move forward in a changing economy. Our fourth point is incorporating renewable energy technologies into existing energy infrastructure, like repurposing oil and gas wells with geothermal and powering pump jacks with solar energy. We believe if these 4 points are implemented, Canada will be many steps ahead of where we are today in terms of diversifying our economy. So I would like to leave you with this single challenge. Let's stop looking at oil sands workers and renewable energy workers as two separate workforces. We are energy workers, and we are ready to get to work building a better future. So if you have any capacity to support Iron and Earth or the Energy Futures Lab in our mission, we would welcome your support.